Welcome to the ultimate destination for fans of Sheikh Hamdan. This is your go-to channel for the latest scoop on the charismatic Crown Prince of Dubai and the fascinating world of the royal family. Get ready for a treat. Recently, on March 22nd, Sheikh Hamdan swept his girlfriend, Shama Al-Falsi, off her feet with a romantic poem that speaks straight to the heart. And today, we're excited to share the English translation of this beautiful masterpiece, penned by the Crown Prince himself. Her presence in my life was a catalyst for transformation, one that shook the very foundations of my world. I never could have imagined that loving her would come at such a steep price. The loss of my family, my home, and everything I had ever known. The memories of my childhood, the laughter, the tears, and the countless moments of joy, all seemed to fade away, replaced by the harsh reality of my new existence. The people who had once been my rock, my guiding light, had turned their backs on me, leaving me with a sense of abandonment and isolation. I had always been the dutiful son, the obedient child, following the path laid out before me without question. But she changed everything. Her love, her light, and her laughter awakened a part of me that I never knew existed. Suddenly, the rules, the traditions, and the expectations that had once defined me seemed suffocating, and I knew I had to break free. The beginning of the end, or perhaps the start of something new. I couldn't help but wonder if the cost of loving her had been too high, if the sacrifice had been worth it. All I knew was that I couldn't turn back now, not when my heart beats for her alone. She defied convention, a radiant rebel who shattered the mold of perfection my parents had envisioned for me. Her unconventional beauty, her fierce spirit, and her unwavering compassion captivated me, body and soul. And that was the crux of the problem. My love for her was the very thing that threatened to upend the delicate balance of my family's expectations. The ultimatum my father issued still echoes in my mind. It's her or us. The words hung in the air like a guillotine, poised to sever the ties that bound me to my family. I had hoped that time would temper their resolve, that they would come to see the beauty in our love. But they stood firm, their resolve unshakable. When I refused to abandon her, they abandoned me. As I stood outside the only home I had ever known, the weight of my decision settled upon me like a shroud. The memories, the laughter, the tears, all were being left behind, sacrificed on the altar of love. The house, once a sanctuary, now loomed before me like a mausoleum, a reminder of all that I had lost. And yet, as I felt her fingers intertwine with mine, I knew that I had gained something far more precious. The night we left, the air was alive with the promise of a new beginning. The silence between us was not oppressive, but rather a palpable sense of possibility. As we stepped into the unknown, the world stretched out before us like an unfurled canvas, waiting to be filled with the vibrant colors of our love. As we embarked on our uncertain journey, I couldn't shake off the feeling of disorientation. The familiar streets I had walked since childhood now seemed foreign, like a distant memory. I felt like a traveler without a map, navigating uncharted territory. Yet, with her by my side, I found the courage to face the unknown. The weight of my decision threatened to overwhelm me, but her presence anchored me. I glanced at her, and she met my gaze with an unwavering smile. Her hand, intertwined with mine, was a lifeline, a reminder that I wasn't alone in this leap of faith. As we walked, the cityscape blurred around us. She finally broke the silence. "I never wanted this," she whispered, her voice heavy with remorse. "I never wanted to take you away from them." I stopped in my tracks, turning to face her. "You didn't take me," I said, my voice firm, resolute. "I chose to leave, to follow my heart. And that heart belongs to you." At that moment, I knew I had made the right choice. The pain of leaving behind everything I had ever known was still raw, but it was a sacrifice I was willing to make for her. She wasn't the one who had driven us apart. That burden lay squarely on their shoulders. They had chosen to reject us, to refuse our love, and now we were left to pick up the pieces. Our first night together in that small, dingy room was a far cry from the life of comfort and luxury I had once known. But as she wrapped her arms around me, holding me close, I felt a sense of peace washing over me. It was a fragile, tentative thing, but it was enough to give me hope. "We'll build something new," she whispered, her breath warm against my skin. "We'll create a life together, one that's ours alone." As the morning light crept into our room, I felt the weight of our reality settle upon me once more. This was it, our new life, one that was uncertain and unpredictable. But as I looked into her eyes, I knew that I wasn't alone. We were in this together, and together, we would face whatever came next. As I gazed at her serene form, I felt the weight of my thoughts bearing down on me. The uncertainty of our future, the finality of what I had left behind. It all swirled together in a maelstrom of emotion. This small, humble room was our new beginning, a blank canvas waiting to be filled with the vibrant colors of our love. Yet, the thought of starting anew, of forging a life from scratch, filled me with a sense of trepidation. I sat up, running a hand over my face, as if to wipe away the doubts that plagued me. She stirred beside me, her voice soft and gentle. "You're thinking about them, aren't you?" she asked, her fingers brushing against mine with a hesitant tenderness. I exhaled slowly, the weight of my regret threatening to overwhelm me. "If you want to go back, I won't stop you," she whispered, her eyes searching for mine with a deep understanding. I turned to her, my heart heavy with emotion. Her face was a map of compassion, her eyes shining with a warmth that made my regret all the more poignant. "You know I couldn't go back," I said, my voice barely above a whisper. "Not after what they said. Not after what I chose." Her voice cut through the silence, a soft whisper that sent shivers down my spine. "Do you regret it?" she asked, her words hanging in the air like a challenge. I turned to face her, my heart pounding in my chest. Did I regret it? The answer was complicated, tangled in a web of emotions and memories. But as I looked into her eyes, I knew that I had made my choice, and now it was time to live with it. As I unraveled the threads of my past, I realized that my happiness had been held hostage by the expectations of others. Their pride had been the driving force behind my decisions, leaving me feeling suffocated and trapped. The whispered word, "no," marked a turning point, a quiet rebellion against the status quo. I had anticipated a fierce battle for my loyalty, but instead, they relinquished their claim to me, leaving me feeling both liberated and lost. Her eyes mirrored my pain, reflecting the anguish of being caught in the crossfire of my family's rejection. I grasped her hands, my voice infused with a sense of determination. "This isn't your burden to bear," I told her. "The weight of their disapproval rests solely on their shoulders." In the midst of loss, our love remained a constant, a beacon of hope in the darkness. Yet, the ache of what could never be again lingered, a poignant reminder of the sacrifices we had made for each other. As I gazed into her eyes, I sensed her unspoken question. Would I one day hold her responsible for the life I'd left behind? I tightened my grip on her hands, drawing strength from her presence. "We'll navigate this together," I vowed, my voice steady. "Even with nothing, we have each other." A glimmer of hope flickered to life in her eyes, and for the first time that night, I felt a sense of possibility. The weight of our circumstances settled over me like a physical force, a constant reminder of all that we'd lost. I'd convinced myself that with her by my side, the pain of leaving behind my family, my home, and my past would be bearable. But the ache within me refused to subside, a hollow echo that seemed to grow louder with each passing moment. I wasn't sure if love alone could fill the void, but I knew I had to try. She saw right through me, her eyes piercing the facade I'd erected. She didn't need words to understand my turmoil. My body language, my sighs, and my sleepless nights all betrayed my struggle. "Talk to me," she whispered, her voice a gentle breeze on a summer's day. I exhaled, running a hand through my hair. "I'm trying," I admitted, my voice barely above a whisper. "I just thought I could move on faster than this." Her fingers wrapped around my wrist, a gentle yet firm grasp. "You don't have to pretend you're okay," she said, her voice infused with compassion. "I know this is hard. I'm here for you, and we'll face it together." As she spoke, her voice fractured, revealing the depth of her empathy. In that moment, I grasped the profound truth. She wasn't just bearing witness to my pain, she was sharing the burden. Her own heart was heavy with the weight of our collective loss. I felt a surge of awe and gratitude toward her. She had taken me in, shattered and broken, with no guarantee of my ever being whole again. Yet, she had chosen to stand by me, to face the uncertainty of our future together. Her words, though simple, held a profound significance. We have to build something new. A pause hung in the air, a moment of silent understanding. We both knew that our new reality would be a far cry from the life I had left behind. The memories, the traditions, the sense of belonging, all were lost to me now. But as I looked into her eyes, I saw a glimmer of hope, a promise that together, we could forge a new path, one that would be uniquely ours. A spark of possibility flickered to life within me. Could it be that this shattered landscape held the promise of something new, something better? I wasn't convinced, but as I gazed into her eyes, I saw a fire burning bright, a determination to rebuild, to restart. And I wanted to believe, to cling to the hope that together, we could forge a new path. With a newfound sense of resolve, I grasped her hand, my grip fierce. Then let's start now, I said, the words tumbling out like a challenge. She nodded, a small, hopeful smile playing on her lips. We had nothing, no safety net, no familiar comforts. But we had each other, and maybe, just maybe, that was enough to begin anew. The reality of our situation hit me like a tidal wave. Starting over wasn't just a matter of packing up and moving on. It meant rebuilding from scratch, with no foundation to speak of. No home, no family, no friends to turn to. The weight of it all threatened to crush me. Love was a powerful force, but it didn't pay the bills or put a roof over our heads. Yet, as I looked at her, I knew we had to try. The foundation I had built my life upon was gone, replaced by a fragile, makeshift structure. The struggle to rebuild was real, and we faced it head on. We scraped by, living off my dwindling savings, taking on whatever work we could find. The exhaustion was palpable, seeping into my bones like a chill. There were moments when I doubted my decision, when the weight of what I had left behind threatened to crush me. I caught her watching me, worried etched on her face like a fine line. She never spoke her fears aloud, but I knew what she was thinking. She was afraid I would wake up one day, regret my choice, and turn my back on her. The guilt that followed me was a constant companion, a reminder that I had made a choice that could never be undone. Some nights, when sleep eluded me, I thought about them, my father, my mother, the home I had walked away from. I wondered if they ever thought about me, or if they had erased me from their lives. The uncertainty was a gnawing ache, one that I couldn't shake. She sat beside me, her hand covering mine, a gentle anchor in the turmoil. Tell me the truth, she whispered, her voice soft as a summer breeze. Do you regret it? I swallowed hard, the lump in my throat threatening to choke me. No, I said, the word a promise, a vow to myself and to her. Her gaze pierced mine, searching for any flicker of doubt. Then, with a quiet intensity, she spoke the words that shattered my inertia. Don't let the shadows of yesterday steal the light of our tomorrow. The truth of her words struck me like a revelation, illuminating the stark reality of my choices. I had been shackled to the past, crippled by the weight of what could never be undone. But in that moment, I saw the truth. I had the power to choose. I could choose to rise above the pain, to forge a new path, and to fight for the love we shared. The same fierce determination that had driven me to be with her now surged through me, a beacon of hope in the darkness. As I gazed into her eyes, I knew that I would not be broken. I would not let the ghosts of my past define me. I would rise, I would fight, and I would build a new future with the woman who had become my everything. Together, we would forge a new tomorrow, one that would shine brighter than the shadows of yesterday.